Good evening and welcome to KMTV. I'm Josie Hannett, your top stories tonight. Man on trial after stabbing teenage daughter. Search restarted after 20 years. And it's time for a change for Toblerone. But first this evening, a man who was shot twice in the face by police has gone on trial for the attempted murder of his daughter. Mark Traylor, who suffers from paranoid schizophrenia, was hit 3 times in total at his home in Hersden in February last year. The other gunshot was to his chest, but he survived the wounds. Officers say that they were trying to stop him stabbing his teenage daughter to death. The jury heard that Traylor had been known to mental health services since 2012 and had apparently stopped taking medication for his condition. He's pleaded not guilty because of insanity. The trial continues. A party host cleaned up a crime scene with bleach after a guest was stabbed in a row over drugs and a joke about designer clothes, a court's heard. Owen Lane is accused of grabbing a carving knife from a block at the house in Ashford and thrusting it into Rodney Edwards with such force it went straight through his body. Josh Hyde, who lived at the house in Lakemead in Singleton with his girlfriend Amy Revel, said he spoke to a 999 operator for some time as Mr Edwards bled from his wound. He said he couldn't remember being told not to destroy any evidence, but accepted that he was told. Mr Hyde said he was drunk at the time and was shocked with what he'd seen, meaning he wasn't thinking clearly and just wanted to clear up the blood. Lane is on trial for attempted murder, a charge which he denies. A mum of 12, dubbed the Queen of Benefits, has admitted handling cash stolen from car parks in Kent. Cheryl Prudham entered the plea when she appeared with her ex-partner and another man at Maidstone Crown Court today. The 34-year-old, who's lived in Gravesend and Tenham, was given the title after raking in £40,000 a year in benefits and buying lavish gifts for her children. Prudham now lives in Cheshire and appeared by video link from another court. Here's Robert Prudham leaving Maidstone Crown Court today. He's denied 4 charges of theft and fraud. His trial will start in April next year. Officers are searching Woodland in Tunbridge Wells as part of a renewed investigation into the disappearance of a woman who went missing almost 20 years ago. Margaret Coston walked out of the Old Pembury Hospital in February 1997. The 54-year-old was a voluntary inpatient and it's believed she wandered into nearby Woodland. Police searched at the time and despite some alleged sightings, she was never found. But because of new search techniques and expertise, police will be looking in the area for the next 2 weeks to try and find out exactly what happened to her. Now, there's been mixed reaction to the news that Maidstone's Invicta barracks is to shut. The Ministry of Defence announced 56 sites across the UK would close by 2040. It's to free up space for new homes. Here's Duarte Diaz.
I'm standing in front of Maidstone Invicta Park Barracks. It's been here for 218 years. But it was yesterday announced that it was only going to be here for 11 more. This has been the home of the 36th Engineer Regiment of the Royal Engineers since 1959. But the Defence Secretary Michael Fallon announced it will close in 2027, and so far there are no plans of relocation. The Ministry of Defence has also confirmed the site frees up space for 55,000 new homes. But so far public reception has been mixed.
First reaction, I'm quite disappointed it's closing. Maidstone has always been a garrison town.
Sell it. We need the houses more than we need empty barracks, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. So that's my view on that.
Well, it's probably bad for the town, I would imagine. But I really don't know an awful lot about it, to be really honest.
For now, the MP for Maidstone, Helen Grant, laments the decision and promises to be heavily involved as the plans unfold. Duarte Diaz for KMTV in Maidstone.
Sevenoaks Olympic race walker Tom Bosworth has been speaking in Parliament today about homophobia in sports. Bosworth came out as gay a year ago and said that Premier League football players will be able to perform better if they opened up more about their sexuality. There are no current Premier League players who are openly gay, and Bosworth said that if they did, they'd be enjoying life more if they were more honest. The new leader of the free world will be announced in the early hours of tomorrow morning. Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump will become America's 45th president, and it's turned into a brutal, close-fought campaign. Here's our political editor, Paul Francis.
So what has been striking about this race to the White House has been the similarities that there are between Donald Trump and Nigel Farage. Donald Trump has styled his campaign, taken a leaf out of UKIP's book in presenting himself as the candidate representing the outsiders, the anti-establishment, anti-elite figure, in much the same way that Nigel Farage did. Now, when it comes to which candidate the government would prefer, I suspect that privately they're desperately keen on seeing a Clinton victory, if only because he's regarded as a much more rational, sober politician, less prone to the temperamental outbursts that we've seen from Donald Trump. But what do people in Kent think?
I'd like Clinton to win, but it could go either way, if I'm honest with you. Not too sure.
What would you feel if Donald Trump won?
I'd be a little bit worried. He doesn't seem cut out for it. He just tries to play on people's emotions and that. So yeah, I wouldn't like him to be president.
Well, personally, I'd prefer Hillary to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Donald just clipped it after Brexit. I don't think anybody expected that, but personally, I'd prefer Hillary.
I really want Clinton to win because Donald Trump, sometimes the way he speaks like somebody doesn't have anything to do with politics. He's just attacking Hillary Clinton on nothing. So, fingers crossed, I'm praying for Clinton to win. At least first female president of America.
A contemporary gallery welcomed a government minister earlier today. MP Matt Hancock, who is the Minister for Digital and Cultural Affairs, spent this morning looking at the exhibitions on display. Ellis Stevenson was there.
Well, I'm here at the Turner Contemporary where Matt Hancock, the Government Minister for Digital and Culture, has been here to meet some of the artists and look at some of the work which are featured here. More than £7.8 million was spent by visitors here, and it's being pumped straight back into the local economy, which is boosting the town's regeneration. This is Ellis Stevenson for KMTV in Margate.
And finally, it seems the change in shape and size to a popular chocolate bar has got the public talking today. The makers of the triangular treat Toblerone are giving their bars a tinker and reducing the amount of chocolate. Theodore Tobler said they have to do it though due to increased costs of ingredients and the change in value of the pound. Bars sold in the UK are made here. They say the only other option was to increase the price.
I love Toblerone as it is, normal fat pyramid shapes.
Well, I believe it's not good value for money.
It looks the same. It makes more sense as well. Got more gap, more chocolate, but easier to share.
Well, it's quite annoying actually because I really enjoy Toblerone chocolate and it's kind of put me off buying it actually.
It's just not worth it, and like when you're going to break them up and stuff, you know, who gets the bigger bit, you know, it's going to be horrible. It's going to start fights.
Well, that's it from us this evening. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest stories from across Kent. In the meantime, though, don't forget you can always keep up to date by listening to KMFM or logging on to kentonline.co.uk, and you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Have a great evening. Good night.